Hey everybody, I'm Seven Sins. Welcome to the stream room. Thank you for coming to watch this video today, and it's going to be all about the Xbox Elite version 2 controller, this bad boy right here. Now, I've had this for about a week or so now, so I've gotten used to it and I've gotten sort of quite in depth with the settings and stuff. So today I'm going to go through with you guys about how to set this Xbox Elite controller up for Call of Duty Modern Warfare. And we're going to be talking about the paddles on the back, the trigger stops, the thumbstick heights, the thumbstick tension. We're going to look at the in-app settings on the Xbox as well, so we can set that up for you as well. And as well, look at the in-game settings of Modern Warfare and how to set that up alongside the app and the controller, so you get the best feel for you. I do stream Mondays, Wednesdays and Thursdays, and I'm using this controller every time I play Call of Duty, so you can come in and ask me questions anytime you wish. Link is down below for you. And without further ado, let's get into the game screen and we'll start looking at setting things up. This is what you'll see when you first hit the Xbox Accessories app and open it up. It brings you to your controller settings. As you can see, there's 3 settings you can choose. I've just got one setting because all I do is play Call of Duty, so it makes a little bit of sense. You just hit over, you can again choose your slots that you want to edit at the top there, and you just go across to the pencil and it'll bring you first of all into the button mapping screen. We're really going to look and concentrate at the back of the controller for the button mapping. I only use 2 paddles. I only use the top 2 paddles just because I feel I don't need to use the bottom 2 paddles in the instance of the way my controller set up for reloading and swapping weapons, that type of thing. We can just do that with the buttons. The top 2 paddles in my case is for the A button and the B button. So the left side is for crouching and going prone, and the B button and the right one, sorry, is the A button for jumping, which is what mainly sort of unmantling and that type of thing in Call of Duty. So to change the button mapping round, select the button that you want to change. It's the primary setting that you want on this controller, and then you change that then to any button you want. So if we go for the right bumper for this one, so now my left paddle will be the right bumper. It's changed down the bottom there, as you can see. So I can now just hit the left paddle here and it scrolls across. I don't know why it doesn't work the first time I do it. I don't know, maybe I've got to go in and out of it. And then to go back, we can just hit the left, bob, and the right one to go across. You get the idea. We'll move on to the sticks now, and I'm going to try not to make this video too long as well, because otherwise it's going to get very, very tedious. This is all about your analog stick sensitivity. You have 4 sensitivities: delayed sensitivity, aggressive, instant and smooth to choose from. A quick overview, and it's all to do with when you move the stick, you can see the line coming across. So when you move that stick, it's all about what that does and what that transpires to the information it's giving the game. So delayed is when you move the stick to the left, you'll see there now you get 2 little circles. So the first one is what the controller does when there's no input value supplied. So you're just on the controller's default settings. So it just goes left and right. As you go to the left, it gets there. And then the delayed setting, which is the one behind it, is what the actual controller's doing now you've changed to that delayed setting. So as you go through, everything's the same. As you get to the middle, it slows the input down to help you with that. And then when you get towards the end, it speeds back up to the meet at the right time when your controller is at the end of its travel time. I won't go through them all because it is a bit tedious. Generally, the one I'd say you want to use is the smooth one. You get a slight delay in the ever so slight delay in the middle, and it then just speeds up a little bit towards the end but I quite find that the delay in the middle is just quite nice and just helps you find your targets and bits and pieces just that little bit better. And away you go. So try them all out, but I recommend you use the smooth. I think the smooth one's the best one for Call of Duty and FPS shooters in general. You can adjust how the curve works. So you can have, if you go right across, you can have a real dead spot in the middle. Look at that dead spot. I am literally almost all the way across, and your controls are not moving. So if you do that, you go to a certain point, you won't be moving anymore. You will just be turning left and you'll stop and you won't go, and then all of a sudden it'll kick on. So generally I sort of think that's sort of, you got the center one. Yeah, the center one back from that. So like the third one, yeah, one. So 1, 2, 3. The fourth one from the left. That's sort of generally where I am, and that just gives you a nice sort of input in the middle. The right stick is exactly the same. The right side of the right stick's more important than the left stick, really, because that is, you know, your aiming stick. And away you go. The triggers, which I think is quite important, really. This is how, when you hit the trigger, how quick the trigger then inputs the information into the game. So you look at this left trigger here. Oh, there we go. It's the bottom one I want. So that is the default. This is the default setting when you first get the controller. Oops. So it's all about to do with, if I pull the trigger slowly, you can just see it here. If I just pull the trigger slowly, this screen, it mimics that circle, mimics where I am on the controller's movement until I get all the way to the end and I can't go any further. So that is how it's all done and dealt. Now, there might be a point in this, even though I'm pulling the trigger in Call of Duty, it might not work until I get to, say, like this point in here. So that means everything from the right of that then, so as you go back round to this point, that's not doing anything for you. It's dead space. You just don't need it. So we take all that all the way down, and I just put it at 1. So no matter when I touch the controller, it's then working. So as I just turn it, as I just tap that controller, it's now hitting the, so no matter if I go all the way down or just tap, it's sending the information to the game saying I need to aim down sight or fire or do whatever it is I want, which is where the trigger stops on the back come into play. So now I've got hardly any, if I do that, you might be able to see it. I'll do another video of it in there. So there's all that motion in the controller. You can see that there's all that motion in there, and when the trigger stop is on, there's just tiny motion. No, that's the full extent. I'll do a close-up video of it as well, but that's literally what you're doing. It's just that tiny motion to get your gun to fire, and it just helps, you know, in those tight situations. You haven't got that dead spot to deal with before your gun fires. You can just aim on sight, bang, dead. And the right one is done exactly, is set exactly the same way for myself as well. It's just their instant fire. And you can test that out in game as well. You actually go into the game and change the settings, and you can see where the dead spot is and how fast it actually fires the gun when you're using the trigger stops and stuff like that. Vibration, dead easy. I turn it off. Everyone's off. Everyone's, all the vibrations off. I just can't stand it. It's not for me. So yeah, if you like the vibration, you like to get that little bit of feel to it, you can set how much it vibrates as you go. But I take them completely all off. I really don't like it. So, and the brightness is that's just really the Xbox symbol, how bright that is. You can set, mine's just on full. It's not really that bright, to be honest. So but that's up to you. Right, now we'll just get in depth and we'll have a look at the trigger stops and how far those go down, so it just ties in a little bit with that, and the tension of your thumbsticks as well. So I'll just set the cameras up for that and then we'll get into that as well. There's a couple of things that you can see instantly already. I've got 2 different thumbstick heights on there. You can see the paddles on the back as well, the one paddle on the back as well underneath the little one here. We'll get onto that more so in a minute, but I want to talk about the thumbsticks in quite a bit of detail, and I'll get on the reasons why I use the different heights as well. But first, the thumbsticks have a tension system built in that put more resistance on going left and right, up and down. So you when you go, say, to the left or the right, you go across. It's not instantly, it's just not easier to go that one way or the other. And basically the controller comes with a key like this. I'll just hold the controller up so you can see inside there. Just in there is a groove. You can see the little plus symbol in there. Just make sure, there you go, you can see it now. Basically you take the key, put it in the slot, it will just fit, and you can turn it left. And that makes it really easy to, when you've got the thumbstick on, just makes it really easy to move it left and right. It's really, really loose actually compared to what I had it set up. And then you can just turn it more to the right to add more resistance, or all the way across to the right, put the key in, all the way across to the right for the most resistance. So when you're trying to aim, you've got more precision on your aim. I find it on the far right the best way to go. And you can set the tension on both. I have it all the way far right so you get the most tension on the thumbsticks as possible, and I really like that setting. But play around with it, see how you guys feel, and adjust it to your own settings. The only thing I'd say is try something, try it for a few hours, get used to it, and if you don't like it, dial it back or dial it more, whichever way around you want to go, and do it that way, and that way then you can make sure you know you get the best settings for yourself. Some of you might be wondering why I've got 2 thumbstick heights. So this one, which is the left one, is a smaller one. That's just for general walking, running, that type of thing. So I just keep that one on the smallest one. They do have a domed one like the PlayStation one if you prefer that type of look on your controller. That is a little bit higher as well. There is a medium height one, so it's slightly higher. And then we've got I have the tallest one that they do on the right side. I just got to get it right because I'm looking at it backwards. And this is for aiming and stuff like that. Now the reason I have it the tallest one is the range of motion you have going left and right when you're aiming is exaggerated than is on this one. So it just helps you fine tune that aim, and it just gives you that bigger range of motion. So it does a similar type thing to like Control Freaks or anything you stick on top of the standard thumbstick tops, and that makes it higher. A lot of pros use Control Freaks to give that range of motion, especially on the aiming side one, and I think that really, really helps. I've definitely, you can see the difference as you're doing it. So but play about with the heights, see what's best for you. Again, it is all subjective, so you haven't got to follow me exactly, but I say definitely try them all out and then see how you get on from there. We quickly just turn it over to the back. There we are. You can see the paddles on there. So we've got the top 2 paddles. These paddles are like just magnetic and they just pop off like so, and then they just dead easily pop back in. Dunk. Just clip straight back in, no problem at all. I've got the 2 little ones on there so they don't get in the way, because the other ones come down the sides here of the grip. And yeah, so that's it. And then the trigger stop function is just that black button you can see there. I've got it right down on just the dot, so I've got the least range of motion in the trigger stops. As you can probably see when I'm pushing it, it hardly moves. As you can see on that, the one to the be on the right of your screen, I think. And if I flip it all the way up to the top, you can see how far it goes down. The second one doesn't go down as much, so you can still see there's a bit of a gap. So the trigger doesn't fully all depress into the controller. And then on the dot, it's just a tiny, tiny movement. And that's how I like mine set. Both of them are on that little dot. So that wraps up this video on the Xbox Elite version 2 controller. Hope you guys did enjoy it. If so, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It really does mean a lot, and I will thank you and love you forever. As always, remember I do stream on Twitch every Monday, Wednesday and Thursday from 9 PM GMT, and I do hope to see some of you guys there. So if you've got any questions about the controller and the settings, you're more than welcome to come and ask me in the live stream at any time, no problem at all. And I will see you soon in the next video. We've got lots of Call of Duty content coming back at you very, very soon. And remember, my name is Jeff.